Well, greetings and thank you for keeping it on CK Sports, your YouTube channel that brings you everything you need to know about Ugandan football, African football, and sometimes beyond other continents. And of course, for those of you who have subscribed to our channel, we thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. If you are yet to subscribe, we encourage you to hit that subscription button. But we also love the fact that you never stop engaging with our content out there, the comments and the likes, and those who go out there to share our links to the different people that you think might be enjoying our content. Now, a couple of months from now, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania will be hosting the delayed, then later postponed 2024 African Nations Championship, commonly known as CHAN. The preparations are intense, and lately or recently, we did catch up with the State Minister for Sports here in Uganda, Honorable Peter Ogwang. And with him, we discussed several things that are pertaining Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania hosting that competition. We also discussed the Hoima City Stadium. When does it think the stadium will be ready? Of course, it doesn't give definite answers, but if you keenly listen to our content, then you get an idea of when the stadium will be ready. He also shared with us some information when it comes to phase 2 of the renovation or reconstruction of the Mandela National Stadium. This is our discussion with the State Minister for Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang. First of all, Honorable, greetings and thank you for allowing to talk to us on CK Sports this morning.
Well, thank you so much for coming in to pick up a few insights in line with our preparations for CHAN and AFCON 2027. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable, for starters, with 4 months to the finals of the CHAN tournament, where do we stand as a country in terms of preparations?
I think in terms of infrastructure, because that was the main position and what role government was meant to play, I want to confirm that. First of all, as of now, we have about all the 4 training pitches almost 100% ready. And maybe I can give more insights in that. I want to say Namboole, the main stadium, and then the training pitch are fully ready. All what CAF asked us to incorporate we are done. Then we have Chambogo training pitch. I want to say that Chambogo will be ready by June. As of now, we have already planted grass, so we expect within this month, May and June, at most July, we will have Chambogo training pitch fully ready for use. And I think even as we can have a trial game there before we fully hand it over to CAF. Remember, CAF expects us to hand over these facilities to them 80 days to the competition tournament. That means that we shall hand them over around 22nd or 23rd of July, because the competition begins on 2nd of what? 2nd of August. Then now when we go to Kadiba, Fufa Kadiba, I want to be honest to be that it's ready. Floodlights are up. Even this Chambog, I want to be saying that the floodlights have already been put up. So Fufa Kadiba, we are now beginning to work with them to maintain the facility. All what we are now doing is to work with the federation to ensure that we have trial games in those facilities so that they are ready for competition for parts of training games. Wankulukuku, we are now working harder to ensure that we put in floodlights because it's a requirement which CAF has insisted. Of course, on my side of government, my main plan was to ensure that Makerere University is ready too, like Chambogo, but unfortunately, because of a few challenges in terms of the release of funds in time, the government, according to our plan now, we have pushed it. And I want to confirm that Makerere University, we have signed the MOU with the University National Council of Sports. We have already projected it for us to start works in the 1st of July. That's the next financial year. So that one is out. That now gives us to put in investment to support the private sector. That's why we are now in Mutesa 2 Uganda Stadium. We did build, which you can confirm entirely. We had to put in the dressing rooms, which are up to date. And on top of that, we also worked on the stands. And on top of that, we worked on the pitch. And now we have CAF has asked us to work on an irrigation to make sure that it's able to maintain the pitch. And also they have asked us to put in the floodlights, which I want to say the Committee of Infrastructure is updating me. They have given me the cost of what is involved. I'm following up on to make sure that we put up floodlights and the goalposts in Wankulukuku. So even those will be ready by the time we go for CHAN competition before we hand in over the facility to CAF. Then Kampala International School still remains as the option for the referees training pitch. That one we pleaded with the CAF to allow us not to put in floodlights, but they insisted we must put in the what? We must put in the goalposts, which goalposts are standard. So we are working to ensure that we will do that in Kampala International School. In all, I want to thank those private sector players who have come in to work with us as government for purposes of this competition. I thank you so much.
Well, Honorable, that is as a country, but as a region, where do we stand again with the tournament just about 4 months away?
First, I want to confirm that we have a regional subcommittee chaired by the Ministers of Sports, and I want to confirm recently the First Lady, who is the chairperson of the local organizing committee, chaired the first meeting here in Kampala for the Ministers of Sports. Why do we do this? We have also a monitoring committee which were formed as us as partner states to ensure that we all keep on tracking the performance of each other. I want to confirm that Kenya already, Kasarani, Nyayo are fully ready. The Kasarani, there's a works which are getting completed. The training pitches are also fully getting ready. Like we have all agreed that we will have all facilities ready. Same to Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa, Mani are getting fully ready for purposes of this competition. And in as far as the training pitches are also concerned, we are all getting there. Jointly, before end of this week, we are expected to pay the money to CAF. That is the $13 million, which money is meant to be the money for the organization of the competition of all the three partner states. So that comes to about $39 million. We are all jointly meant, we are meant to pay because CAF opened each account in each respective country. So for that, as Uganda, and yesterday actually, I was in touch with my colleague, the Minister of Sports of Kenya. Also, I was able to look for my colleague, though it's unfortunate that our colleague of Tanzania lost a brother, so he was out of town. But we are working as technical teams also jointly meeting for purposes of us ensuring that we are all compliant. And I want to promise the region and Africa as a whole that we are ready. We were given this competition and we will host it in the spirit of East Africa. I want particularly to thank our heads of state who are keenly following on each and every update and progress of works. And of course, above all, is to thank the President of the Confederation of African Football, who is time around he gets in touch with the heads of state. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable, we heard about the need to have one local organizing committee on top of the three local organizing committees we have for both CHAN and the AFCON. How true is this, and how far with this development?
First, for the record, it's not true. What is clear is that each country was given mandate to come up with a local organizing committee. What we have come up as ministers of sports of the region is to come up with a one structure, one body, like I've earlier on said, that which basically keeps on all of us on track to ensure what we play to CAF is done on time and we don't let each other down. That's why you see we ministers keep on going to cross-check how each partner state is doing. That gives us to be together because it's a one bid. So a failure in one country is a failure for all of us. That's why we are keenly following it up. But as far as CAF is concerned, no. Each country was given mandate to come up with a local organizing committee. And I'm happy in Uganda here is the first lady who is the chairperson of the local organizing committee and our dear Minister of Education and Sports. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable, how does government plan to work with the media? First of all, to use CHAN to promote Uganda, but also the region globally.
Well, I want to confirm that there's already a committee on media and signage in as far as the channel competition and AFCON are concerned. So I really want to encourage particularly my friends in the media to get time and work with the chairperson and the members of that committee. And for the record, for Uganda, it's Dr. Dennis Mujimba, who is also directly the main spokesperson of the Minister of Education and Sports, who is the chairperson of the Committee of Communications and Signage. So there's no way we will at all times have to work with the media for purposes of us giving the best publicity, but also purpose of mobilizing the fans to come and watch the game, but also market Uganda. So I really want to call upon the media in Uganda, both those who love in sport like you, Clive, and others who are not sports enthusiasts, to also join in terms of promoting Uganda and East Africa. Thank you so much.
Yes, Honorable, away from the Chan, what is the latest on the Hoima City Stadium since the president visited the facility?
First, I want to thank His Excellency the President. For the record, he's the one who identified that company to come to Uganda to do the work. And so for that matter, I want to thank him and my dear senior minister, the first lady, for coming to Hoima to carry out an inspection on the progress of works done so far. Maybe the latest is I want to confirm that the contractor has started roofing the stadium now. And I want to say we are on course to finish the stadium in line with the contract we signed of 18 months. So as far as that stadium is concerned, it will be ready by 18 months or even less than 18 months. The way I see the progress, it will be ready before the 18 months elapse. That's true.
Actually, that was my next question because the deadline was December 2025. What are the chances that the stadium might be delivered much earlier before then?
I want to be honest that that stadium will be delivered much earlier than expected. And of course, it's not news, it's not common to Uganda because when we talk about this thing, I know they expect the exact date, but I can't be able to give it out because I know what you, the media people, talk about it. And I don't want to put pressure on the contractor. But at least I have discussed with the contractor. I can confidently say the stadium will be ready before the 18 months. I thank you so much.
And of course, Honorable, the company you're talking about is Suma. We also got reports that they will be in charge of phase 2 of the Mandela National Stadium immediately after the Chan. How true is this?
It's of our considered opinion that we give them to handle Namboole, though it's not official. But as us, as the Minister of Education and Sports, unaware of the timeline of AFCON 2027, you see, we had already planned to have Namboole closed for phase 2 works immediately after the Chan competition. Our plan was by March. But now that we are heading up to August, it means that immediately after the Chan competition, we are going to close off Namboole for about 13 months for purposes of us having it ready for AFCON 2027. So if you look at the current contractors we have and what we have also seen, to be honest, I think it's prudent that Suma is given that job based on the vast experience they have. Remember, they're the same people who renovated Namboole Stadium. So for this one, it's not yet official, but it's in our considered opinion. We feel they should get that work for purposes of us ensuring that we'll finish our project on time. And I know they will if given the chance to do the work. I thank you.
What exactly will phase 2 entail?
Phase 2 is all embedded in line with the recommendations of CAF. Because the challenge which we must first acknowledge is that I know out there the media, particularly some of the football fanatics will begin to complain. We spent money on it. To be honest, as of now, that stadium has been approved to host World Cup Qualifiers, AFCON Qualifiers, Chan competition. But in terms of the standards of AFCON finals, we are not yet there. Issue number one, each of us must have a stadium, minimum of 45,000 seater as the main stadium. Now, here in Uganda, the two stadiums we are constructing are on 20,000 seater. So the main stadium, as of now, we have 38,328 seats. That's Namboole. So we must first have the first expansion from 38 to make it 45,000 seating capacity. Issue number two, which again, these ones are entirely CAF-related directives to us. Let's talk about the VIP launches. How many heads of state can that stadium accommodate? Let's talk about CAF executives. They are treated like heads of state. So they gave us a challenge. We must have a VVIP which is able to accommodate 20 heads of state in case they all come to attend a match. And remember, these countries, no president would not want to be part and parcel of their what? Of course, we are not saying that they will all come at the same time. But in case we are given the opening ceremony, I don't know whether you're getting me. Look at our current VVIP area. Can we be able to host such? Can that VIP host? It's extremely dangerous. The other one is to align the VIP launches with the latest standards of the stadiums. For you, you're in the media. Talk about the media tribune. You know it. Where do you sit normally? It's so you under the sun. So we are only saying and CAF guided that in that phase of the phase two, we must first get the media out of the west eastern gate to bring to the western side. So that from the western side, they will be able to design, and already we have asked one of our consultants, which is Minister of Works, to design specific areas where the media tribune will be. We also talk about the dressing rooms. We are moving the dressing rooms from the other eastern side to bring it to the western side. That is in line with the current CAF guidelines they have given us. So when we talk about phase two, then the other one is to roof the stadium. It has been talked about long overdue. Yes, as of now, let's be sincere, it's good work done. But if you compare ourselves with the region, are we there? No. So we must put up a state-of-the-art stadium. And I can guarantee you, with the current designs, architectural drawings, which I'm privy to, which we will immediately, we finish with identifying the contractor, we will invite you, the media, to look at what is entailed on phase two. So those are the areas which I'm trying to give it to you, that phase two involves putting a proper international roof, which is able to cover every fan who is watching the game, not to get under the rain in case the rain rains within that facility. The other area, of course, of concern is at the players' dressing rooms. If I don't know whether I said it. Recently, you had Onana come in there. You remember it was becoming almost an insecurity. Why? Because where the current dressing rooms are is an area where the fans are. And normally, these players must be below the VIPs. And that's where normally their dressing rooms are. Even if you go to Hoima now, where the players' tunnels comes in, it's within the area where there are VVIPs. The other one, of course, like, for instance, the mixed zone. Look at Namboole. Fortunately, we have tried to improvise for purposes of meeting the CAF guidelines, for purposes of World Cup Qualifiers, AFCON, CHAN, but CAF has insisted they need a proper mixed zone, which is directly aligned to the media tribune, so that when journalists come from here, they're able to walk to a mixed zone. They don't interfere with with the fans. It's their space. Unfortunately, where we are now. So in all this, then also areas of PWDs, you must have seen, we have improvised. But for purpose of CAF final, there must be specific areas designed, properly designated for persons with disability. These are matters of international requirements by FIFA, which we cannot continue trying to play around. So as far as I'm concerned, it is going to involve extensive work, which extensive work needs an expert. Breaking and renovating is extremely different from the actual construction of a project. That's why in our considered opinion, in line with the CAF, I want to repeat, the renovations of phase two are based on the CAF guidelines, and they have insisted you either do it or you don't have an AFCON final. And now, who does not want to have an opening ceremony, closing ceremony? We all want to be there, and that is the gist and the main purpose of this competition. But I want to say, the Namboole you see today will not be the Namboole in the next 20 months to come. I pledge on behalf of the government of the Republic of Uganda.
Honorable, I thought talk about phase two, you might hint about an indoor here and there and stuff like that.
That is secondary now. Then, of course, first of all, I was concentrating on football. Now we are also going to improvise indoor sports within Namboole under phase two, because it's important that, according to us in our planning, that entire land is planned to have a state-of-the-art indoor facility, which is able to also make sure that the stadium generates money outside these other activities. We're also going to look at parking. Our planning is to have about 1,000 cars parked inside there. And that is also entirely project under phase two. We are also looking at putting up 1 or 2 artificial pitches, which are able to make sure that the stadium continues to generate money, so that we don't only look at it as a white elephant. So those are all under under phase two. So I want entirely to say that if the works are going to be multi-sport, which is good for us. I thank you.
Yes, you talk about 13 months of trying to improve the facility to meet the CAF, FIFA, or international standards. And the question that was lingering in my mind is where does that leave the national team? Do we again keep on playing across the continent, or we are shifting to Hoima for the time being?
That one I can guarantee definitely. By the time they come there, then Hoima will be ready. And for purposes of that, the team will have to shift to Hoima. That's it. That one is self-explanatory. By the time we begin with the Namboole, I'm very sure Hoima will be almost at 98% complete and will be ready for football to be played in Hoima. Like I've told you, I know the exact month when Hoima will be done. I want to repeat that it will be done before the 18 months which we sign with the contractor. So that means that we will see what happens there in time.
Well, the next international event after Chan is September. So, what Honorable is saying that the cranes will be in Hoima come September. But
September might be early enough, but if all goes well, we wish we will be happy because it is true that no one wants us to play away. But the truth is, we will really work with the contractor. We are going to give a contract depending on September. I don't know which date. If it is early September, then we can decide that okay, maybe give the what the team to finish up September, play it's what it's 2 tiers here, which help us qualify. But I want to say Hoima will be ready to host some of the international games. That is a fact, and I think that will be a very excellent move for the people of Kampala to drive to Hoima or to fly to Hoima. That's when you begin to feel maybe we seems not to be feeling Namboole, but I'm very sure the Banyoros will mobilize themselves and fill up Hoima. 20,000, and that gives a vibe. It's a small facility, state of the art, will be full. Thank you.
as we wind up on the facilities, Honorable, there's construction going on just behind you. And yesterday you were in Parliament trying to make a case for KCCA football team. What is the latest on the MTN Omondi Stadium construction?
First, what people don't know that this KCCA Football Club is a club funded by government. So entirely, KCCA is a government club because it's government of Uganda, which gives its plan. What the management does, they come up with the plans for infrastructure development. And I want to confirm the management of the club, management of the city authority came up with a plan to build this facility, and I want to thank them. So what is only now, what I've come in to advocate for, they have asked for additional for resources for the completion of the project. As a Minister of Sports, I have come in to speak for them, to ask my fellow legislators that we cannot continue to have a project to take more than 5 years. We rather have them give these people money so that we have this facility complete and it adds into our infrastructure plans for purposes of football being played. Like I did mention earlier, and I want to repeat, once you have the facility stadium, you're able to generate the non-tax revenue because funds come in here. Every fund who comes here pays money, but also pays what taxes. And that is an area where now I'm coming in to speak for KCCA, but I'm also speaking for other government clubs, which I want to say URA, Maroon, Police, UPDF, NEC, Simba. These are all clubs which belong to government entities. It's important they also come up with their plans to construct their own facilities, and like KCC started, they have reached this level. So even those should start, they reach that. I've been told that police is renovating their own facility, which is excellent. It's not about only working on the pitch, but it's about working on the what? The pavilions where fans are able to sit and generate money. Our challenge is outside Uganda, many clubs, both are government, but they make a lot of money. And they end, at the end of the day, they become self-reliant and self-sustaining for purpose of running the club business. And that now gets them to be independent. I thank you so much.
Lastly, Honorable, from your own perspective, and for the time you've been State Minister in charge of sports, but also in charge of other ministries, what is the role of media in promoting sport in Uganda?
First of all, I want to say that we can't do without no project or no anything of government can work or can be able to do well without the role of media. Media, like it's always said, is the fourth estate. That means that media helps us a lot in terms of helping the country to understand what either sportsmen and women are doing, or what role or what advantages they, for purposes of the games are concerned, or what to entail to sensitize the public. So entirely, media is very, very important in any activity, leave alone with sports. But for parts of sports, I want to be honest, it informs the public what the game is all about, of what the revenue is all about, of what the competition is all about. It's the media which entirely does that work. And that's why to show that they are very important, you can check on CAF, the first areas where they're interested in the media. Where is the TC, a Vogue? Where is the media tribunal? Where is the press conference areas? Where, so this is, that shows you that any game without media is a closed game. So here in Uganda, for me, I want really to call upon the media, in particular the sportsmen and women who will do work on the media side that we need you more than we needed you yesterday, because now where we are going is entirely about marketing Uganda. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Well, I hope you did enjoy the discussion, and hopefully you did learn a thing or two. Clive Chaze is my name, and yes, I just remind you, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it will take you just less than a second to hit that subscription button. But also, we love the fact that you do engage with our content through the comments, through the likes, and also sharing it to the different people that you feel do enjoy our kind of work. Have a blessed day, and yes, I'll catch you again in the next episode.